And you, Miss Addie?
Aren't you only like 30 years old? That's who you are in my head. So your math doesn't work. Your math doesn't work, sir. I'm Addie. I was born with cerebral palsy. I try to get around on my own volition, but use my walker most of the time, and I'm transitioning to my wheelchair.
Very nice. Very nice. It'll be your friend. So
it is.
Yeah. So you, I think last time we talked, you were getting ready to go check out your mountain cabin and or whatever you have.
Yeah, the best laid plans, I tell you. So talking about people being reliable, it's like 2 hours after the house sitter is supposed to be here and she's not here. Mm-hmm. So we had somebody we were supposed to meet on Friday night, which we couldn't meet because even if we drove up there, now it's the dead of dark. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Anyway,
and real quick, just to refresh people's memory, you have a, what would you call it? A trailer, camper trailer?
Yeah, I have an RV lot.
RV lot, yeah.
Blue Ridge.
And then you have your RV camp there. Yeah.
Yes. And so we were going to clean it out and pick up some stuff from up there and, kind of do the seasonal shift and whatever, right? So anyway, the person's supposed to be here and you and I were actually recording an episode and it's getting later and later. And I had a deadline as to when they had to be here because if we don't leave, we're going to miss the other people we're supposed to see. Anyways, so the person is like, oh, I had a medical emergency. They almost had to call an ambulance. Well, okay, I can be compassionate, but like, were you going to tell us at some point? Yeah. Anyway,
so
it was
did they still make it?
So
did they still come or no? Yeah.
They did at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
But we had basically told them never mind, and we moved it to this coming weekend because we'd already missed one half of the purpose. So I'm not going to go up there this weekend and the next weekend. That didn't make any sense. But
and if somebody's had a medical emergency, you don't want them to.
Oh, well, and that's why I was like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, take some time. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, it just turned out weird. And it turned out also that the girls' apartment had apparently flooded. So we let her stay in our basement, being nice because nobody was down there. But it was just the most awkward situation of my life. So never actually met her. She was in the basement for the weekend. And
so this isn't like a friend of yours that was going to babysit the house. This was
a house sitting service.
Oh. Were there critters involved? Were they going to watch?
We kept our own critters. Yeah, they were going to watch all our critters.
That's
what the house-sitting service does.
Yeah. That's an important thing. The house doesn't need much sitting, really,
Right. The house doesn't do any tricks unless there's things we don't know about, right?
Yeah. Be reliable, folks. Gosh, that's one of those things.
Moral of the story.
Is it out of date? Is it not fashionable anymore to let people when you're not going to show up or anything?
Well, I mean, the weirdest thing was that she's like, basically, if you cancel the sit, you're costing me money because my apartment flooded. I'm thinking, that sounds like a personal problem. I'm trying to be accommodating to you.
Yeah.
By canceling the sit because you said you had a medical emergency. Now you're flipping it on us like it's, I don't know. Some people.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. No, we did not go to the mountains.
All right. To be continued.
Yeah, right.
Just a busy week last week. It was every day I had 2 and 3 and 4 events, literally. And, just in zigzagging. It wasn't efficient use of my time or resources. I go one end of the county in the morning and then I had something in the other end of the county in like the afternoon. And then I had to go back to the other end of the county for the thing in the evening. But,
Doug says yes to everything and he learns his lesson.
Right. But gas is only $5 a gallon. Who cares?
Yeah.
But some good stuff. Yeah. We went to the Angel City Sports Adaptive Sports Fair. Angel City Sports is their name. The Adaptive Sports Fair was the name of the event.
It's what they do. Yeah.
It's what they do.
Got you.
Yeah. So that was awesome. I know his dad's name. And the co-founder, his last name is Freck. And Ezra, I believe, Freck. And he's a 2-time gold medalist. So it's a father and son, and they co-founded Angel City Sports. And they put together a great event. They do, wheelchair football, tennis, basketball, bocce ball. I don't think they had rugby. which normally they do, and some other things at a park in Los Angeles. So good time. And Inland Empire Disability Collaborative was last week, and met some new people there. My list is growing for guests, and
nice.
now I'm like telling people, well, it'll be April or May before we get you on.
Right.
But,
we'd love to have you, but take a number.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Definitely a good thing to have, right?
Sure.
And then like a bunch of other things. And Rolling Start has their wheelchair support group. I went to the one for Victorville. I went, I think it fell when we were recording, so I jumped over there, and talked to them real quick and said hi. And then they've got a new one that they're starting at their San Bernardino location. So I'm going to go there this Thursday and do that. Thank you to Zemri Solis for coming on last week. That was as awesome as I thought it would be. Great story.
I was going to say, you rock it.
Yeah.
You rock it.
I can't wait to see what's next for him, too.
I know.
Because he's still young.
He's very young, and everybody we kind of sit with, it's like, this is such an awesome room to be in. It makes me, I don't feel old. That's the wrong way to say it, but I'm excited because they have a bunch of time left in their life in which they're like raring to go and have all these opportunities, and it's cool.
Yeah. Definitely for me, I am old. And, I'm not afraid to observe that. But it's nice, too. I mean, this perspective is nice, too. I'm doing what I love. And I'm sure I've said it before. I loved what I did for a living, my entire career. I was in radio and was on the air and did production and all that. And I love doing that. So much so now that I have a little studio in one of the bedrooms in my house. And now I'm doing a podcast once a week. Because I love this. I love the interviewing people. I love putting it all together. And it keeps me young, I think, to a certain degree, learning new techniques. There's not too many 70-year-olds that can do what I do in this technical realm. I have a long way to go. Kids, don't worry. But I'm trying to educate myself in just the whole publishing a podcast. I went to ChatGPT, and because you hear about producers and all these things on podcasts, I'm like, what? I do everything myself. There's bookers, there's all these titles. So I went to ChatGPT and I just asked it, what are all the responsibilities for putting together a podcast? And there's a list of like 10 different things. And there's 10 different people that work on a podcast. I'm an idiot. I do it all myself.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, you should see it. It shows you your versatility. You're a jack of all trades in the radio world.
But like I say, I love it. And it keeps me young, learning new things,
Yeah.
So I dig that.
Awesome.
And, thank you for listening, too. I really appreciate, people listening and liking it. If you could subscribe wherever you listen, whether it's on Apple or YouTube. We have a lot of listeners on YouTube. And also Spotify and different ones. If we can grow the community by subscribing, that helps us kind of get out there and meet more people. Met some great people too at the Angel City Sports. A couple of people that I've run into at different events, but really had some time to sit and talk with them and get to know them a little better and all that this week. So looking forward. They're coming up. They'll definitely be guests. So we'll do that soon. Coming up today, we've got an interview with Lisa Cox, and if you are on Instagram, you may recognize that name. She's an influencer. She's from Australia and was in advertising, and it seems like there was a multitude of things that went on with her. And right. So we'll
so she's had a very full life, and she's learned how to pivot and blend her life together as her life has changed. And that's really cool. Yeah.
So she's taking, her life pre-disability and kind of retooling it to do what she wants to do with
mirroring it with her new experience.
Yeah. For the community with her skill set and all that. I'm very passionate about it. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back to hear all about Lisa's story here on Walk and Roll Live, right after this word from Agar Professional Training.
At Agar Professional Training, we know that your greatest asset is your team.